How's it going, everyone? Nerd Person Shooter here. It's been a while, about 4 weeks since my last video, my Doom: The Dark Ages review. I've been busy doing other things. Well, I bought another month of Game Pass, primarily to play Anthem one last time, and I'll upload a preservation gameplay of that in January. I played it now because it's going to be delisted and I don't own it, um, so I played that, and I played a few other newer games that came out. So I will be making a Game Pass review episode next month. I do want to play one more game that's coming out, Gears of War Reloaded. I'm actually getting that for free since I own the physical copy, which is kind of weird, but of the Ultimate Edition. Anyway, this is not going to be a particularly happy video. This is going to be more like a rant. It may be a little on the depressing side, too. I want to talk about why I don't buy a lot of new games anymore. There are so many reasons why. Back in the day, 2014 to, 2022 or whatever, I used to review games pretty regularly, especially towards the end of the decade and like the early 2020s when Microsoft was like rewarding Game Pass a lot. They used to give out Game Pass monthlies for like $1 like it was candy. They don't do that anymore. And I was able to use that to my advantage to make even more reviews on new games. I don't have that anymore. I still buy a month of Game Pass every now and then. Of course, I need to pay like 17 to 20 bucks a month for them. So it's not really a regular thing for me anymore like it was in 2021 or 22. That's one reason why you don't really see a lot of reviews from me anymore. There's like, I have a whole piece of paper, writing notes about like bulleted reasons about why I hardly buy new games anymore. Now, probably my biggest reason why I don't buy new games a lot anymore is because of my backlog. I probably have one of the biggest, most ridiculously long backlogs of any individual in the world. I have literally hundreds of games and movies. You can see behind me. I have a game collection and a movie collection. Most of what you see back there, I haven't even played yet. That's no exaggeration. And part of the reason is because I keep focusing a lot of my attention towards newer games, or try to, or have tried to in the past. And I don't want to anymore. I want to focus on what I already have, what I've had for years that is still like completely wrapped in plastic. My backlog for games and movies, and this extends to digital too. Maybe not so much digital movies. I mean, I have like a few seasons of TV digitally on Xbox, I think. But games, I got a ton of digital games I haven't touched yet either. It's in the hundreds range, guys. And it might be enough to last me a whole lifetime if I stop getting games now. And it's depressing to think about some of these games I might never even get to, like I wasted my money on them. I'm trying to buy less and less games now because of that. Because of my backlog. It's ridiculous. One of these days I am going to make a video going in depth about how deep my backlog is. How deep I dug this hole that I'm stuck in terms of what to play and stuff, and I think it's so bad that it warrants its own video. So I'll probably do a video of that. It might not be until next year. It might be one of next year's videos or topics. That way, when I do get to making that video, I'll at least have, hopefully, some of those games finished. Like I have a whole box here, or tote right next to my computer on my desk, of non-backwards compatible Xbox 360 games that I'm done with. You know, I also have a few PS3 games that I'm done with that's in the box, I think. Some duplicate movies that I otherwise have in other collections. So, yeah, I have a lot to go through there, and I'm going to stop talking about my backlog right there because I got a lot more shit to talk about. Why you don't see me reviewing as many games as I used to. Now, speaking of Game Pass, games often come out day one on Game Pass. Not Sony games or Nintendo games, of course, but, you know, a lot of third party games come out on Game Pass. So, that's basically my common resource of getting reviews out. Like Game Pass review episodes and stuff, or maybe even giving a full length review. Is that it makes it so that I don't need to pay. You know, I mean, you gotta pay monthly to play a bunch of games, but you get my point. I save money whenever I am on Game Pass, and I play something that I am interested in or is on my list of games to play through or try or whatever. 90% of my reviews now come from Game Pass. I feel like. Maybe that's not completely accurate, but for the most part, yeah. So that's another reason why I typically don't like buying new games anymore, is because they end up on Game Pass. There are some exceptions like Doom the Dark Ages that I got for my birthday as a gift. You know, I typically like to play Doom on PlayStation. Don't ask me why, I just do. And it's like that with a lot of franchises, you know. There's some series that I prefer to play on PlayStation. There's some franchises that I prefer to play on Xbox. Not too important to me, but I just have little preferences here and there. Oh, here's one that is gonna probably become a problem. Price increases. Games are only getting more and more expensive. I saw what Microsoft tried to do with the Outer Worlds 2. They tried to make that shit $80 and it didn't fly with any of us, so they put it back down to 70. Of course, Outer Worlds 2, when that comes out, that's also coming on Game Pass. I am planning on buying another month of Game Pass at some point in October. I want to play that. I want to play Ninja Gaiden 4. I want to play Black Ops 7. And I also want to play, if they have one, a 10-hour long trial of Battlefield 6, because I admit that actually does look really good. At least better than 2042. I mean, fuck. But yeah, price increases. You know, I wasn't a fan of it when they made it $60 back in 2005 or 2006 when the 360 was coming along. But I kind of understood. And then when the PS5 came along, they booted up to 70, which I'm like, I'm a little less okay with that. Because, I mean, these video games make tons of money. You don't need to keep increasing the price, even if the production costs are getting more and more expensive. And Nintendo, with the Nintendo Switch 2, they are pricing a lot of their games at $80 now for fucking Mario Kart. Like, Mario Kart World, which doesn't look any better than Mario Kart 8. $80. Why? Like, it you I gotta tell you something, guys. In my opinion, it has nothing to do with production coverage. It has nothing to do with production cost. It has to do with them trying to capitalize on their success. Okay, that is what the gaming industry is. That's what the AAA gaming industry is all about now, or quadruple A gaming industry like Ubisoft is trying to pull now, which is trying to basically fucking gouge everyone and just steal their wallets. That's why indie games are the way to go nowadays, because they don't cost that much to make, and so you don't need to pay that much to play them, and they're typically better and more focused and more polished than a lot of these fucking AAA games that come out broken and shit. And that's another reason I'm going to save for later. I don't like the way the gaming industry has become. Okay? So yeah, I don't support price increases. I think 60 bucks is expensive enough for any game, let alone 70, let alone 80. Unless you're buying like a big collector's edition or something that has like actual like physical stuff, like an art book or like a complete soundtrack or something. There's a lot of talk about how GTA 6 is going to be $100, $110, $120. I'm like, dude, if it's any more than 70 bucks, I am not buying GTA 6. And I'm not that big of a GTA fanatic anyway to pay more than 70. I'm not. So they can go fuck off. Rockstar and Take-Two, if they decide to make their flagship game triple digits, they can fuck right off. And you know what? They're still gonna make like even if GTA 6 was only 60 bucks. So many people are gonna buy it to the point where it's still gonna make money. It's still going to like make more than how much it costs to make it. That's why I do not understand these price increases. Unless you are unsure that your game is gonna sell that well, if it's not too anticipated, don't make it so goddamn expensive. Like I said, I'm more of an indie gamer now. One of my favorite games this year, which I'll talk about later next month or the month after, maybe next month, is Blueprints. You know, um, and that was made with only a handful of people. Like, some of my favorite franchises don't exist anymore. Like when I was a kid, man, I used to love playing Tenchu. I used to love playing Siphon Filter, Splinter Cell, and even though I do like some of the new franchises that are out now, I'm caring less and less about different series. That on top of my backlog, I don't want to get invested in new IPs that I haven't touched. Like I just want to keep myself distant and only play things that, like, when I look at it, I really am excited for it. And unfortunately, that almost never happens now. And that's yet another reason why I don't buy a lot of new games anymore, is because I can't really get excited for new games anymore. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just adulthood getting in the way, me having more responsibilities, me having more obligations, me having less time on my hands. You know, I mean, this is my first video in 4 weeks. Like, I have more important stuff to do in my life. That's the curse of adulthood, that if you work full time and if you have kids or whatever, not that I have kids, but you just find that you don't have an adequate number of hours to play whatever it is you want to play. Like big open world RPGs that are over 100 hours long, you can kiss those games goodbye. Like when Fallout 5 comes out, I might not play it because by the time it comes out, I'll probably be working a full-time job. Who knows? If it's like fucking 2035, I might even have a kid, and I might not even have time to play video games altogether at that point. And it's just, and also the general decline in quality. I'm getting sick and tired of so many games coming out buggy, unpolished, broken, and it pisses me the fuck off. One of the reasons why I don't like to gamble anymore on new games, new big games, is this game gonna be a buggy pile of shit? Who knows? I mean, you could read some reviews, but sometimes reviews aren't even that reliable anymore. Sometimes a lot of reviews don't factor in bugs. They're like, oh, well, this will be patched in a few weeks, so don't worry about it. It's like, dude, fucking fix it before it comes out, okay? Get it right the first time. I'm sick and tired of how the gaming industry has exploited game updates. It gives them an excuse to be lazy, to make really just lousy ass games on lousy engines and not even have the time to play test it. Playtesting's a fucking thing of the past, I swear to God. Some of these games that come out, there is no way, like Stalker 2, which I love when it works, but it doesn't work most of the time, so it's a piece of shit game most of the time. There's no way that anyone extensively playtested it over there at Ukraine. Nobody. And I'm getting sick of it. Like, I I have no tolerance for it at all. None. And back in the day, if your game came out buggy, it was fucking buggy, and you paid the goddamn price. Nowadays, like, you could release a game in alpha state, and wouldn't. I mean, you would suffer from some sales, of course. People wouldn't buy your shitty game, but still, you would have that exploit, and I don't like that. I don't. Game companies cut corners now, and it is absolutely wrong. Not every game studio does that, but a lot of them do. You know who you are. So yeah, my interest and passion, my passion for gaming has decreased. My excitement for new games has been decreased because of all my experience with unfinished, unpolished, broken games. So I no longer really get excited for any games anymore. I really don't. Not for Ghost of Yotei, not for GTA 6, not for whatever. Not even like Resident Evil 9 anymore. I mean, Resident Evil games are polished for the most part. I mean, 6 kind of sucked, but still, even if I know a game is gonna be okay or good, I don't have that sort of childhood excitement anymore. Like, like opening a Christmas present. I'm like, oh my god, a new game, mommy! Ah! I don't feel that anymore. It's been years since I felt that sense of just joy and like excitement for games. I just don't do that anymore. I can't do that anymore, and it's because of these reasons. Why? One of these days, man, I'm just gonna stop. Like, one of these days, this will no longer be a gaming channel. I'll probably just like talk about other things going on in life, or the world or whatever, or gaming news. Like, one of these days, I mean, you guys might not see me post anything gaming related anymore. It sucks. It just it depresses the hell out of me. The way gaming's become. Not just with how they're handled, but how they're delivered to us. And there's a diamond in the rough every once in a while. I still end up loving some games now, but yeah, one of these days, man, I'm just gonna say fuck it, and you're not gonna see any more game reviews from me, or even let's play. Maybe let's plays if I have a game in my backlog that I grew up playing as a kid. And maybe that would be a cool thing to do, but I don't know. I just want to stop buying games, but a part of me can't. I have an impulse problem. You could say it's an addiction. I'm just gonna say it's a problem. I have a tendency to still buy games just because I want to give you guys some content, because I still care about you guys. I still care about entertaining you guys or whatever. And so, yeah, why I hardly buy new games anymore. Which is funny because just yesterday I went to GameStop to see if they had anything interesting. And I found this RoboCop Unfinished Business, a DLC, standalone DLC, but I found it physically. I'm like, oh, okay. It says $29.99, but I actually got it for $24.99 because I had a $5 pro coupon. And because it was new, they gave me $10 off a GameStop Pro Renew. So, hey, I got another year of GameStop to buy a bunch of garbage. Um, so there is more content coming from you guys. My next video might actually be an open beta let's play for Battlefield 6, because I gotta say, that actually does look really good. It's probably the first time I've genuinely been excited for a Battlefield game pre-launch. You know what I mean? Like, it actually looks really good. Like, it looks like a really great return to form. Like as great as like Battlefield 3 was. So I do want to do a let's play of that, try that out. And then I do want to make a little review for RoboCop Unfinished Business. Maybe I'll reintroduce RoboDork. I'll do more RoboDork narrations for this game. I'm planning on getting Mafia: The Old Country. Even though I'm not excited to play it, I think it looks really bland and generic and just, yeah. I want to get it because, one, it's only $50 the way games used to be back in, like, you know, the pre 360, pre PS3 era. But also, I have a really funny idea on how to make a review for that, and I feel like not getting it would be a wasted comedic opportunity. So you might see 2 new game reviews for me. Ironically, after I just said I don't buy new games anymore, you're probably going to see 2 new game reviews this month, followed by a Game Pass review. So, yeah, maybe this wasn't the most appropriate time for me to make this topic video, but I made it anyway. Fuck it. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.